Namaste, beautiful souls. It's Dr. Danny. How are y'all doing? I'm doing so good. I had the best 24-hour shift yesterday. I think it was a gift from spirit. I think I'm doing the right thing because when you're in flow like that, you just know, you just feel like the universe is on your side. So I really just felt compelled to come on today because there's some big things happening, and I want to make y'all aware of it and kind of let you know how I've been doing, give you guys some updates. I don't have any sidekicks today to help me, but I did just get a nice comment from John, so thank you so much. I'm getting so much love from Archaics. My goodness, you guys are amazing. Even the people that disagree are like just intelligent and kind and wonderful. So I just feel so blessed to have stumbled upon such a fantastic community. I mean, I've always watched Jason, but I never really participated in the lives. I've just kind of argued with him in my head. And it was just so well received. So it was fun. And look, we have a mod. We have a mod today. We have Lori here helping us out. So she's Look Up Astrology. You can check her out. I don't think you have any videos yet, do you? But yeah, I really enjoyed the love that I'm getting from the Archaics community. I've gotten a lot of reading requests, and I am working through those. I'm trying to do my best to give you the best, most intuitive, most heartfelt energy when I do these readings. So I'm not trying to pump them out. It's going to be 3 a day, 4 a day, maybe. And I've got a few on my desk still, maybe about 12 or 15. So I'm getting through them. So y'all be patient with me. If you just remember, if you have an urgent need, if there's a timing thing that you want me to see, then just email me, drdanny@drdanny.com, and I can help you. I can get you ahead of the queue. But for the most part, I'm just kind of working through them. And part of the reason I wanted to come on today was, number one, you guys, today the sun has transited into the constellation of Virgo. So we have a new sun sign right now. No, Virgo did not start on August 20th. If you're doing that kind of astrology, you're not really doing astrology. You're doing something, and it might be cool and helpful. I'm not knocking it, but you're not doing astrology. So I'm going to show you the sky. We're going to talk about Virgo energy. I'm going to give you a whole new download on Virgo. You guys are going to walk away from this talk like parts of your brain that have been asleep for centuries are going to be activated. And you're going to look at Virgo energy completely differently. It'll literally blow your mind. I've also changed Virgo's ruler, but you guys have probably seen some of those videos. We'll get into that a little bit. So hello everybody. There's so many people from Archaics. This is great. Thank you so much, guys. The readings I'm getting too, you guys, the people that are reaching out to me, I think it's like a cosmic attraction, almost spiritual connection because of my affinity for Virgo. So I'm getting a lot of Virgo risings, and I'm getting a lot of Virgo ascendants and people with heavy stelliums in their Virgo. And what's so neat doing these readings, like one right after the other, like 3 a day or so, is that my brain is just like tingling with spirit, and so many good things are coming through. So we're going to look at Virgo big time today. And be patient with the readings. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, the other thing I wanted to update you guys on was just how I'm doing in general with drdanny.com. So what a tremendous flush of love and growth I've felt in the last couple of weeks. It's been amazing. And I've, through the flux of requests that I've gotten, I've decided to change some of the things that I do. One of the things that's happened is I'm completely off book now. So I have notes, but once I get a few keywords in my head, I'm on fire. I keep going. So the readings are very intuitive and they're very connected. And so I wanted to let you guys know that is a process that's always developing, and it's been quite up-leveled thanks to the collaboration with Archaics. So that's fantastic. The other thing is the sun, moon, rising reports, you guys. I got about, I don't know, 30 requests for those. And while they're nice, while they're fun, um, they're not following with me into this intuitive space that I'm going into. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of like kitschy. It's kind of like, I don't know, just it just doesn't fit with where I'm at right now. Before I produce them so that I could develop my own database and my own readings of sun, moon, rising so that it could be quick. So that if somebody came to me and they showed me their chart, I'd have that in my memory and I could, just give it right to them. And so I thought, why not sell these reports while I'm learning it and while I'm getting it going? And so I create these reports myself. I open up a new Word document, I put your name in there, I type in your date, your location, and then I'll copy your sun in the document, and then I'll copy your house and I'll put it in there. And yes, it makes it quick for me to put it together for you. But at the same time, I have accepted that I am terrible at that very fine detail. That very fine detail that is needed in order to have a high throughput of reports. So I either need to get a computer program going or I need to stop because I've made some mistakes on some people's reports, like mistakenly put another name in there or, labeled it the wrong moon or whatever, just honest type and paste mistakes. And it's not like, I'm doing it because I want to give you the wrong information or anything like that. So if that's happened to anybody, I am totally sorry about that. And so I've decided not to do those anymore. I'm going to sell out of those and then we're going to get rid of them. I want to do more intuitive work. So I hope you guys all understand that. I wanted to explain that. Also, I am looking into accepting cryptocurrency for my readings and my courses. So I just got the wallet all set up. I'm just trying to figure out the back end because a lot of you have asked me. A lot of you guys are actually off the grid, which is amazing. I didn't even realize it was that popular. And the kind of people that are off the grid are probably more into the kind of astrology that I do. And so I think it'll be pretty cool. So I'll have that set up, and then you guys just look at my website. If you want to order, it should be available. You can click on it. The last announcement I have for you is the Uranus class. Let me put a little deal up here. Michael Hartigan and I of One Sky Astrology, also known as Uma Stellar on Facebook, he's co-teaching the Uranus class with me. And the date for that class is October 4th. It's a Friday night. What else would a bunch of cosmic nerds do on a Friday night except get together and learn about Uranus? But it really is perfect timing. Uranus is about our individuality. Uranus is in the early stages of Taurus. Uranus takes 84 years. The last time Uranus was in Taurus was 84 years ago. So we are going to look at it from a more modern perspective, a psychological perspective. It should be really good. The reason I have Michael doing this class with me is because if you think of the perfect astrologer, it's Michael. He's wise. He's got all this hidden knowledge, lost knowledge in his brain. I don't know where he gets it. And every time I talk to him, he melts my brain. So this class is really going to be a treat. And I've also included a guided Uranus meditation with it. It is a crown chakra activation. So what we do is I guide you to the planet Uranus in your Merkaba body through a visualization technique. Once we're there, we then, I will chant for you. You can listen, you can chant along if you want to, the Vedic mantra to Uranus, as well as a crown chakra seed mantra. So we'll activate your crown chakra, which is associated with Uranus. So you can do it before the class and after the class, but it's already in the class module. So if you sign up for the course, you can go ahead and do the meditation right away. And you can start doing cosmic downloads for the eclipse that's coming. All right, so that's everything I think I wanted to tell you. You guys want to get into this? Let's do this. Who's talking today? Let's see. All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Okay, good. All right, I don't see any questions or burning thoughts. So what do you say we get into this? I'm going to hide this ticker. don't know why my mouth is so dry all of a sudden. I think because the mistakes I was making with those charts got me a little emotional. I really feel bad when I messed up. It's stupid. But okay, so let's get into this. What I want to do is first share my screen, and then I want you guys to tell me how you're feeling about this. This is the X solar flare that we had the other night. Yesterday afternoon, actually. This is in UTC time, so it was about 10:30 in the morning, Central Daylight Time. And I look at this every day just to see what's going on, just to see how the sun's doing. We are at a solar maximum. This is spaceweatherlive.com. And you can go, what I love to do, this is super fun. If you want to nerd out or geek out on any of this stuff, is click on these forum messages. And then you can get into the lingo of these solar watchers. And I don't know if there's any issues with copyright or whatever, but I just wanted to show you some of the pictures that these guys post. It's unbelievable. Look at this. That is what just burped off of our sun yesterday. Now, these people are actually a little bit, they're definitely nerdy about these solar flares because they get excited about these geomagnetic storms. They're like, oh, I hope we have a G3, even though, bad things can happen. There's another cool one I wanted to show you, but there it is. Look at that. So this is amazing. This is what our sun is doing. So this affects people on Earth, believe it or not. We feel this. We are energetic bodies, just like the sun is an energetic body, just like the Earth is an energetic body. And we share our energetic field with planet Earth. And this will impact us later tonight and tomorrow, according to these guys here. So they're predicting somewhere between a geomagnetic storm 2 to 4. So apparently that's a pretty big deal. So you guys stay frosty, stay high. Maybe that's why my mouth is dry. Stay frosty, rest if you need to. If you feel like nobody's talking on the internet or you feel like everything's really quiet, it might be this. People are just sort of processing this. Some people look at these as DNA upgrades, to their cosmic strands. I mean, I can see that. See that? Look at that. I'll take some DNA upgrades if that's what they are. Let me go to the next page because there was one more that was really incredible that they posted. Oh, here it is. Look at this. Boom. This is not a small area of space. Okay, this is probably about the size of 200 Earths right here. The space that just blew up. Look at that again. Boom. I won't belabor it, but this is what we're going to feel over the next few days. And then to top that all off, there's some announcements coming out about the banking system on Monday. I'm not really all familiar with any of it. And the sun has been directly correlated with the flow of our money and how our stock market does and things like that. So it should be interesting. This solar maximum is definitely an interesting one. But I wanted to bring your eyes to the skies. Let's just look at that on fire sun that's blowing up and spewing all this plasma towards us. They did say that the CME was going to be a glancing blow, whatever that means. I'm sure we'll all feel it, and we'll definitely have some more aurora activity this week as well. Okay, so sun is in Virgo. You can see it. This is today. This is right meow. Now, you might say, well, Danny, look, the stars of Leo are still there. And I would say yes, but the way that we decide where the sun is in constellational, it's more of a blend. I mean, you can't really draw like a straight definitive line. And for those of you that understand vibration and frequency, when we're in the middle of Leo, that's where the heart of Leo energy is. That's where it's the strongest. When we're in the middle of Virgo, that's where it's the strongest. And when we're in between them, we get a blend of energies. We get a mixing of energies. So still some expressive energy, but we're definitely letting go of summertime energy. The days are getting shorter. I don't know about you guys, but 6 o'clock in the morning just feels earlier and earlier and earlier for me when I get up and have to go to work. But here we are, right here in the first stars of Virgo. And so let's watch this, because when I put up the list of sun sign dates, the constellational sun sign dates for you guys, everyone's like, where's October? And it makes sense because you're used to it being a monthly system, but the constellations are not all the same size. Virgo is much, much, much bigger. She spans almost 44 to 48 degrees, depending on which boundary system you use. And so she spans from today all the way to November 4th. Look at this. We're just going to keep on going. Keep going. Oh, by the way, guys, right here, the 20th, is when we're entering tropical Libra season, okay? Right around here, the 20th or the 21st. So if you don't feel like you're in Libra season, this is why. And it's not monthly. Libra's way over here. We'll see Libra in November. So we're watching the days. This is the eclipse. This is a cosmic reset for you guys, okay? Not only for moon and sun, but also for your Mercury energy. So if you're following Mercury cycles, this is a big moment. This is a really big moment, and it's going to be manifest. It's going to be made clear. It's going to be understood by the time we get to the end of November. And it's really personal. It depends on each person's individual natal resonance. Like for me, this is in my 4th house, and it aligns with, 4th and 10th house are across each other. So it's home and work. And I'm definitely dealing with that during this lunation prior to this. Now, someone asked me about eclipse points, because I guess they had seen my eclipse point video probably about a month ago, 2 months ago, when I was talking about this particular eclipse and whenever the moon was going to be on this particular degree in the months leading up to this eclipse. So, for example, I think it was June. I remember it was July 12th, it was August 9th, and then September 5th. Those were the eclipse points for this particular eclipse leading up to this eclipse. This eclipse will also have post-eclipse points, all right? I don't remember what the dates are, but I gave them to the person that asked me. And so whenever the moon comes back to this particular point, then it's considered an eclipse point. And usually 3, 6, 9, and 12 months out from this particular degree will be the eclipse points that have the same flavor of this eclipse. So this manifestation work, this intention setting work that we do around this eclipse will also be highlighted at these 3, 6, and 9 month eclipse points. Okay, so the December one is the one to watch, and that one is 12/22. All right, so anything that comes to you, anything that's surrounding this eclipse for you, 12/22 is also around that point as well. So let's keep watching, because the sun's going to be here for a minute. So there goes Mercury. And then finally, see, we're still in October. I even have to move the sky to get it to adjust. There we go, October 4th. The reason that jumped like that was the time change. We go from Central Daylight Time to Central Standard Time, and we get our hour back. So at any rate, that's the sky. That's Virgo season. There's something else I wanted to show y'all, just talking about Virgo in general. But I want to check with you guys and see how everybody's doing. Is everybody okay? You guys can still hear me? All right, we have people that are definitely feeling the solar flares. Okay, hi, new from Archaics. Should I be looking at Taurus if born June 6th? Yes, probably. I just bought watermelon too. I didn't. Oh, I'm getting in on that conversation. Okay, I'll just keep going. All right. So let me share with you guys just a couple of thoughts that I brought up before we get into Virgo. I titled this talk Apophenic Connections, And the reason I did that was because I literally just found out about this word about 8 days ago. This word for me is eight days old. I was 50 years old when I found this word, but I absolutely love it. And apophenia means the tendency to perceive meaningful connections between unrelated things. It was coined by a psychiatrist in 1958 called Klaus Conrad in the book, The Beginning Stages of Schizophrenia. He defined it as unmotivated seeing of connections accompanied by a specific feeling of abnormal meaningfulness. He described the early stages of a delusional thought, as self-referential overinterpretations of actual sensory perceptions as opposed to hallucinations. So these are the connections that we're all making. You know, that when we watch an Archaics presentation, and we watch a Dr. Danny presentation, and a Waters Above presentation, and a One Sky Astrology presentation, in our minds, in just our minds alone, we're making all of these connections. It's really, really amazing. And I think there's something different about the energy that's going on right now in our cosmos. And it could just be the solar maximum. It could be something coming from our galactic center. I'm not really sure. But I think more and more people are getting this, and more people are able to actually communicate their connections. So apophenia has also come to describe a human propensity to unreasonably seek definite patterns in random informations, such as occurs in gambling. Other examples might be numbers or dates or chronology or astrology. Okay, so there's actually a medical condition that we all seem to have when we're doing astrology. And so what I wanted to do today was to make some more of those apophenic connections for you. I want to light up part of your brains. I want to activate an energy that I think has been asleep and or sedated in most of us for about 2,000 years. And it's through the constellation of Virgo. I'm not sure why that opened paint. Okay. This condition of Virgo, I'm going to show you what it leads to, but when we think of Virgo, I want you to have this image in your head right now. Hold on. This is really irritating me. Let me do this. Open with photos. Because see, now I can zoom in. This is our current modern perception of the cosmic web that our galaxy is in, okay? They have names for all these spots. This is what they believe the universe looks like. And when I look at this image, I basically see like quantum foam. This is what quantum foam looks like when it's described to me. It's just this sort of swirling, bubbling, sinewy bits of energy and matter where creation and destruction are just kind of happening all at once and all at the same time. And, you know, when we talk about that apophenic connection between as above, so below, you know, to call that a medical condition would explain why some people that are, you know, touched are also considered a little bit crazy, because you see it, you know, you see it. This is the quantum foam. This is where everything comes from. This is the void. This is the cosmic web. And we're somewhere in here. This isn't our galaxy. This is a billion galaxies all clumped into one space. These strands are, you know, hundreds of thousands of galaxies that are all connected together through these strands of matter and dust and energy. And this is what we're in, right? And you think of this cosmic web, you think of the web of destiny, you think of the mother spider, the grandmother spider, crawling over this web and, you know, connecting or disconnecting strands of destiny and connection. So this is what I want you to keep in your brain, because it is the ultimate as above, so below, that we actually return to the same idea, which is this just sort of bubbling energy of cosmic foam. And now I want to talk to you about Virgo. because a lot of you have gotten readings from me with this Virgo energy, and I've attached this picture to the email when I send you your chart. Um, and Virgo is all the things that Virgo has always been, right? The maiden, the organized, the under-recognized, the self-improvement, self-oriented Virgo. Like, that's her, okay? And that's fine. We can be that energy. That's amazing. But I feel like with Mercury as the ruler of Virgo, the way that we have come to know rulerships as being a dominating energy, I think since the time of Ptolemy, since the Tetrabiblios, since the patriarchy, since the Church of Rome, that this energy is very under-recognized, the true power of Virgo. I took this picture on a Friday the 13th. And it was right before the October eclipse of last year in 2023. And I was using my Night Sky app, and I wanted to take a picture of the coming moon towards this eclipse. And Virgo happened to be rising. So I just screenshot it and I grabbed it because it was so synchronistic. You see Virgo standing upright, the divine feminine mother sky goddess, standing upright. She's the only woman in the zodiac. She's the only expression of the divine feminine that is a woman in our zodiac, which I think is kind of a raw deal. And then having Mercury as her ruler makes her a little bit diminutive. But here she is standing. Moon, emotion, in the heart. The sun, the sun, in her belly. And then Mars, the bloody show at her feet. And so she's standing there in full service to the creation, sacrificing, I would even say dying a little bit to bring another soul into this realm for their journey. And to me, that is the most amazing, like unbelievable sacrifice service that you could make to creation. And this is Virgo energy. Okay, this is that divine feminine. It's chaos too. It's not perfection. It's chaos and perfection. It's perfection in the chaos, in the cosmic web, because there is a divine order that comes out of this through the process of transformation, through the process of death and rebirth and ascension. So all this energy is here. It's in Virgo. And then I want you guys to imagine taking the Hubble telescope or the James Webb telescope and zooming in on the constellational stars of Virgo. What you're going to find is over 1,000 galaxies. There's no other constellation in the zodiac that has this many galaxies in it. We're part of the Virgo Cluster. Our particular galaxy is in the Virgo Cluster. And the window of stars of Virgo is where that you can find it in the sky. If you were to look up Taurus, you might get 10, you might get 100. But with Virgo, it's over 1,200. So what's a galaxy? Well, we think of the galactic center, where Ophiuchus and Scorpio dwell, in a cross formation, in the part of our sky where there is a lifting of the veil, just a tiny bit, where there's a rhythmic pulse from the center of our galaxy that brings us new energy, new light codes. Also bringing chaos, because it has to reconnect with the matter that's not in use anymore and give it back to source. Okay, so there's all this energy happening in our own galactic center. And imagine more than 1,200 of them in this part of the sky. So there's some sense of this energy of bringing the thought forms, the quantum pops into reality, into matter, but also nurturing the unused matter back to source. This is all Virgo. This is all powerful. And this is divinely feminine energy. So I think Mercury is a very inappropriate ruler of Virgo for that reason. Mercury is a wonderful energy, but it's not feminine nor masculine. Mercury is about our thoughts. Mercury is about transactions. It's about learning. It's about knowledge. As we go to the higher polarity, it's about diplomacy and justice and balance and equality. Those are all very Virgo, or not Virgo traits. Those are not Virgo traits. Those are Libra traits. You know, being a mediator, getting the scales to balance. That's Mercury's job. Libra is also considered the underworld, right? The place where you go to be judged. It's the sun between two worlds. And Mercury is associated with the underworld. Mercury would go back and forth from the underworld to the world of the humans. We have 33 watching right now, and bring messages back and forth. Okay, so that Mercury is a messenger. Mercury is not in charge of this powerful, divine, feminine energy. What has Mercury in charge of Virgo given us over the last 2,000 years? Well, it's given us female human trafficking, prostitution, unwilling prostitution, I should say. It's brought us medicalized birth, artificial reproductive technologies. It's brought us body modification, genital mutilation, all of these medicalized energies that are divine feminine, that are part of the divine rites of passage of being woman in this physical realm, sold to the highest bidder. And in my opinion, it has created 2,000 years of women literally hating themselves and hating each other simply because they've got something physical that isn't considered perfect, where they have a few extra pounds, or maybe they have to wax their lip a little bit, So they're down on themselves. They don't love themselves because they're not perfect. And I'm here to tell you, I take care of women. That's what I've been doing for 15 years. And all of you are perfect. Even the divine feminine deep inside of my star brothers, you're perfect too. Okay, so your creative force, your ability to nurture, it's powerful. So that is Mercury ruling Virgo, in my opinion. And I have recently fired him. And those of you that have Virgo rising that work with me will have Venus as your chart ruler. So Venus is the divine feminine. Venus is that sort of the fourth dimensional light that flows through your pranic tube when all of your chakras are cleared and open, and you're actually a channel for the divine knowledge, like a golden collaboration between matter, physical Gaia, and energy from the cosmos. When that channel's open and that inspiration that you feel, that is Venus. That's a creative force that is so incredibly powerful. And that will show you your divine power on earth. So Venus rules Virgo. We are in Virgo season, you guys. Let me just check in with everybody. See how you guys are doing. Apophenia, I think, is a hoax, just to explain around the facts. Thank you, Jon Snow. Yeah, isn't that an amazing image? So those of you that are Virgo rising, you get that picture with your reading. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to think about with that. I really just wanted you all to understand what Virgo season really means. This may not be a time for you to literally clean out your closet. Like it's okay to be a little bit messy. It's okay to be a little bit imperfect. It's a little bit okay to not have your shit together. You don't have to be everyone for everybody. It's okay to say no. It's okay to honor your divine physical needs, whatever it is that you're going through, and to accept that. We've been going 33 minutes, almost 33 seconds. That's amazing. I'm seeing 33 everywhere. So hopefully this is resonating with you guys. Good. Yeah, the comments all look good. Everybody's being really kind. I love that. Yeah, so let me think if there's anything else I wanted to show you. I think I had a couple other slides in that slide deck. Oh, yeah, I wanted to bring this up. Let me share my screen again. Here's what can happen if we've got the wrong archetype. And then I'm going to totally destroy the concept of rulerships in general. Let me share the screen. Let me not forget to do that, because that'll be silly. Okay. All right. So there's a second disorder that I'd like to share with you, just being a medical person. is called Munchausen syndrome, and Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Okay. So those that would have us, have Mercury be the ruler, sort of dealing out that feminine energy to the highest bidder, might correspond to an energy called Munchausen by proxy. Here's what it is. So it's a fictitious disorder imposed on the self, which that fictitious disorder of Munchausen syndrome, you put it onto another person. So it's kind of like, it's considered actually child abuse if it's done to a child. But a lot of times it can happen with people that live together, with sort of not healthy relationships between caregiver and the person that needs care. And basically it leads to the person that is being cared for seeking sympathy from their abuser. And this is kind of the dark shadow side that can happen if we don't truly understand this hidden energy of Virgo. Because Virgo is in service. That's really what it's about. It's about the work of the universe, creating matter, destroying matter, nurturing it in, nurturing it out. And to be in a weak state, you're not a good creator. And so if you're put into that victimhood state, you're seeking sympathy from your abusers. So I just wanted y'all to keep that in mind, not to bring anything dark into the talk, but that is one other thing I had in mind. And then I wanted to show you what the new rulerships would look like. I gave this talk on another video, but this is sort of the old system, just to give you guys a little bit of astrology teaching. This is a traditional rulership chart where Sun and Moon rule Cancer and Leo. And for some reason, the association with Sun to Leo may have had to do with the solstice point of summer in the northern hemisphere aligning in the constellation of Virgo, or not Virgo, got Virgo on the brain, aligning in the constellation of Leo when the current system as we know it, or at least the energies when they began to be codified, that solstice was in Leo. It is now in Gemini, late Taurus Gemini. So it's drifted backwards with precession. And so that would have been probably 2,000, 3,000 years ago. All right. So it makes sense that we would have Sun at its peak at the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere being associated with the constellation of Leo. The moon is the closest body to the sun from our perspective, the second brightest, also the closest to Earth. And so the closest constellation to Leo was Cancer. And that's where that rulership came from. So then the distance from the sun, and don't ask me how they knew it, but they knew it. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It goes in order of distance from the sun, okay? Mercury is the closest planet. So the two rulerships for Mercury ended up being the two flanking constellations for Leo and for Cancer. Right? Does that make sense? So we have summer solstice in the constellation of Leo. That's the focus. That's where the sun rules. Then we have the moon is the next brightest and the closest body to Earth. So let's give it to Cancer. And then we'll put the rulership of Virgo and Mercury, or Virgo and Gemini as Mercury, since it's the next farthest body away from the sun. Then we go to Venus, who is the next orbit outside of Mercury. Between Earth and Mercury is Venus. And so let's flank those two with the Taurus energy and the Libra energy. And so it was a system of distance, you guys. I don't think it had anything to do with dominance, with who's in charge of, like this is the planet you go to get the download on this particular sign. I think it really had to do with distance, because the next one out is Mars, and the traditional rulerships for Mars are Scorpio and Aries. So again, we're moving away from that. And it's almost like if you take this sort of two-dimensional way to look at it, it's almost like toroidal field. So if this were to curve downward, this would be all the sort of earthy personal stuff. And this were to curve upward, then you would have more of the spiritual stuff. So in comes the healing and the action, and in comes, Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius and Pisces. Those are next to each other. And then the same thing with Saturn being the last planet that we could visibly see. And so those two constellations got the rulership of Saturn. So, I don't have any like research or quotes to back it up. I'm sure some of you could find it. But this makes sense to me. If I were an astrologer 2,000 years ago, I would make it like this as well. But since the rulerships became more of a dominance issue, more of a kingship sort of an issue, I say let's do this. Let's just do it a little appropriately, and otherwise I'm fine with it. Otherwise it works. Because when you think about the orbit of these two goofballs, Venus and Mercury, they can be different distances from us. Venus can be closer to us than Mercury, and Mercury can be farther away and closer. So those two switch their distances quite often and quite a bit. And so I'm okay with this switch. I hope you guys are too. All right. Let's see. I think that is all I wanted to share today. Yeah, I wasn't really planning too much today. Yesterday, I didn't even think I was going to come online until this morning. So I'm not like super prepared like I usually am. But again, I think that's all part of how I'm transforming into the work that I'm doing. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Check my chat here. Oh yeah, the 138 deal with the planets that I did with Archaics. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We can go real deep with that too, especially because that number 138 is and the spiral number, the 5.08, which is pi times phi. That number, if you take 138 and divide it by that number, you get the moon's synodic cycle in days, like almost perfectly, like within a few minutes. So it's pretty interesting. And so it would seem that, the moon might be part of this 138 cycle, this 138 reset. And I would say that eclipses are definitely resets. And we have a few of those coming. So guys, yeah, that was cool. I am probably going to go live this week, either Tuesday or Thursday, depending on when Desiree can do it with me. I love having her as my sidekick. Oh my gosh, you guys, she did. I'm helping her. I'm mentoring her. She sent me her first reading and she did such a good job. I am so proud of her. She's a natural, y'all. I'm going to get her out in front of you guys pretty soon here so you can try her out and get a reading from her. And obviously because she's, learning, it won't be as expensive or as costly as a professional reading. But it's just joyful. She's just a wonderful reader. And so I was really pleased to see that. I'm going to chat with her in a little bit and we're going to go over that. So I'll be live with her either Tuesday or Thursday of this week. And then probably next week, I'm going to have Michael on so you guys can meet him before the Uranus class and see what his vibe's all about and see if you'd like to learn from him. I'm hoping he'll melt our brain just a little bit while we're live so you all will join his class. All right, so that is it. We have gone for about 43 minutes or so. And Lisa Anjet had a 33 too. Awesome. Well, you guys, I'm going to hit it. I have some more work to do, some more readings to do. I have a call a little bit later. And then tomorrow I do another 24-hour shift. So I'm working through the readings and I will see you guys soon and work with you all soon. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you all later. Bye.